The move down to 2A football for TCA has worked out well.
Yeah, it's been a great year. Dropping down to 2A and only having 6 seniors, wasn't really sure what to expect.
What they've encountered is a near perfect season. Their only loss coming against the top-ranked team in the state. But it was the months leading up to the year that left part of the Titan family unsure of their ability to participate. January 2016, what should have been a glorious day for 16-year-old Brady Miller, it was the day he got his driver's license, actually began the worst period of his young life.
Brady has suffered from migraines for a long time. When he woke up sick, it was, oh, Brady's just having a migraine and he'll sleep that off and get back to school either this afternoon or tomorrow.
When the migraine persisted, they took Brady to the ER.
They put some fluids in him and he seemed to respond, and so went back home. It wasn't actually until he'd been symptomatic for almost a week that a second trip to the ER is when they did the CAT scan and they discovered the brain bleed.
I had a cavernous malformation in my brain, which is basically a group of small blood vessels that randomly grew in my brain.
To make the situation worse, the first time doctors attempted surgery, something went wrong.
And so we sat in the waiting room and he came in and he said, we got a late start. We had some calibration issues on the computer, and Brady's head has fallen out of the vise that was holding it twice. And he said, I don't want to hurt your son again, and it's just not our day.
10 days later, they tried again.
They had like a 7-inch, 6-inch incision on the back of my head, and they went and they took it all out, and then they put a plate back there.
Brady's journey was far from over. The recovery was painful.
The simplest things were hard, is like I couldn't do a push-up, I had to learn how to walk, like stuff like that. And so I was like, I can't play football in 3 months. It's impossible. In my mind, it felt like I was in my 180-pound football-ready body, and in reality, I was in a 210 body who hadn't moved in a couple months. And so it was physically frustrating because I'd tell my body to do something like do a push-up or throw a ball, and I couldn't, and it was a struggle for quite a while.
The long hours of therapy eventually led Brady back to competing. He threw in a couple of track meets last spring.
I didn't throw very far. It was more like a moral, like, I can do this, like I'm still gonna be an athlete after having brain surgery thing. And that was really cool because all my teammates were there, my parents were there, and even though I threw half of what I normally did, I felt very accomplished working that hard to be able to even step foot in a ring.
But the big question was his ability to play football. The answer arrived in June.
Brady had a follow-up MRI, several, right at that point, and Dr. Wilkinson did clear him for all activity. And Brady said, including football, and he said, yes, Brady, including football.
I didn't know what to say or think, or I was super, super excited, knowing that I could play football again.